what's happening? Today we're going to talk about four big words. We're going to talk about anointing and temptation and betrayal and revenge. So if any of those words kind of interest you at all, jump on in the video. I'll see you in there.
Welcome to the Equipped Disciple channel. My name is Rick McClatchey. I will be your host. We are here to be and to make disciples of Jesus, and we do that through daily devos, through Sunday sermons, and through other discipleship resources. We are here to equip you.
What's happening, my people? Thanks for coming and watching the video today. Hey, if you want to start it off with a bang, just hit the like button and maybe even drop a comment. You could even share it with someone. That'd be super cool. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, that'd be awesome. So we're going to talk today about anointing and temptation and betrayal and revenge. And this is what we're talking about here. We're talking about Samson. We're talking about killing a lion with your bare hands. We're talking about scooping honey out of the carcass of a lion and breaking your Nazirite vow before we've hardly even gotten started, you know? And so lots of stuff to look at, lots of stuff to talk about as we dig in to the story. So let's go ahead and head into the text. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the full screen. Samson went down to Timnah and saw a young Philistine woman there. He went back and told his father and his mother, "I have seen a young Philistine woman in Timnah. Now get her for me as a wife." That's kind of how they would do it back then. You know, the dad would pay the bride price and, you know, get his son married off. And, always to try to increase and improve relationships and trade relations and all that kind of stuff. But his father and mother said to him, "Can't you find a young woman among your relatives or among any of our people? Must you go to the uncircumcised Philistines for a wife?" But Samson told his father, "Get her for me. She's the right one for me." I have so many comments. Now his father and mother did not know that this was actually from the Lord, who wanted the Philistines to provide an opportunity for a confrontation. At that time, the Philistines were ruling Israel. Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother and came to the vineyards of Timnah. Suddenly, a young lion came roaring at him. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands as he might have torn a young goat. But he did not tell his father or mother what had happened, what he had done. Then he went and spoke to the woman because she seemed right to Samson. She seemed right. She seemed right to Samson. His parents did not agree. Important thing to note. God was still going to use the situation for his benefit. So here we go. After some time, when he returned to marry her, he left the road to see the lion's carcass, and there was a swarm of bees with honey in the carcass, and he scooped some honey into his hands and ate it as he went. As he went along. Can you just picture for a minute? You kill a lion, you go and you check out the girl, and you work out all the marriage details and all that kind of stuff. And then on your way back, you find the lion that you had previously killed, and probably along with some other critters and stuff that are in this carcass, you have bees that are making honey. I don't know. It's weird, people. It's weird. Why would you just reach your hand in and scoop honey out? It doesn't make any sense to me. So he scooped some honey into his hand and he ate it, and as he went along. When he came to his father and mother, he gave some to them and they ate it. But he did not tell them that he had scooped the honey from the lion's carcass. His father went to visit the woman, and Samson prepared a feast there as young men were accustomed to do. When the Philistines saw him, they brought 30 men to accompany him. "Let me tell you a riddle," Samson said to them. All right, let's go ahead and let's go full screen again. I like that. Let me tell you a riddle, Samson said to them. If you can explain it to me during the 7 days of the feast and figure it out, I will give you 30 linen garments and 30 changes of clothes. But if you can't explain it to me, then you must give me 30 linen garments and 30 changes of clothes. Tell us your riddle, they replied. Let's hear it. So he said to them, out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. After 3 days, they were unable to explain the riddle. On the 4th day, they went to Samson's wife, and they said, persuade your husband to explain the riddle to us, or we will burn you and your father's family to death. Hello. Escalated much? Did you invite us here to rob us? So Samson's wife came to him weeping and said, you must hate me. You don't love me. And he told, you told my people the riddle, but haven't explained it to me. And he said, I haven't even explained this to my mom and dad. And so why would I explain it to you? So she wept the entire 7 days of the feast. And at last, on the 7th day, he explained it to her because she had nagged him so much. And then she explained it to her people. So she proved herself to be completely trustworthy. Not. Okay. All right. On the 7th day before sunset, the men of the city said to him, what is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? So he said to them, if you had not plowed with my young cow, actually referring to his wife there, you wouldn't know my riddle now. And the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully on him, and he went down to Ashkelon and killed 30 of their men, and he stripped them and gave their clothes to those who had explained the riddle. In a rage, Samson returned to his father's house, and his wife was given to one of the men who had accompanied him. So goodness gracious, all this stuff happens, and he loses the girl. Oh my word, come on. All right, let's go ahead and jump to the next. So now, as we go back to verse 1 and kind of just cover everything that we've read now, just wanting you to remember the context of these events is right after the end of chapter 13, where it says that the Spirit of God came upon him and began to stir in him, began to stir something up, some calling on his life. And it's right after the Spirit of God began to stir him, along comes this girl in Timnah. Why are you even in Timnah? Why are you going around the enemy? Why are you hanging out with the Philistines? And so he gets attracted. He gets distracted. He gets distracted by the attracted, And the parents were opposed, so they're telling him, look, Samson, this is not the right way to go. We're not supposed to intermarry. We're not supposed to, go outside of the tribes. We want to keep this within the nation of Israel. So the parents were opposed, but God decided to use it anyway and use it as a way to inflict judgment on the Philistines. So he was like, no, it's okay. It's fine. I can work with this plan. It's a little tricky, and I got to make sure that I keep my eye on the ball. No, he's God, so it's easy for him to manage that. It doesn't justify Samson's behavior. It's basically God just capitalizing on the poor decision-making of Samson. He's going to choose to utilize the stuff that Samson does for his will and his purpose, so that it's not just a big, giant waste. So he immediately goes to touching dead stuff. He's not guarding the anointing on his life. And we talked about yesterday how obedience is such a significant part of our worship and an indicator of where our faith is at. And so it's man, dude, from the very day you were born, your mom was eating a special diet when she was pregnant with you, and just telling you about the life of a Nazirite, that you are called to be set apart. And then you go on this little trip and boom, you're disregarding, you're counting it off. You're You're not guarding the anointing. You're not guarding the calling on your life. And I would challenge you, encourage you. Are you guarding the anointing? Are you guarding the call of God that's on your life? Are you treating it as common? Are you treating it as just, oh, whatever, no big deal? I want to really challenge you today. I want to challenge you today with the idea of guarding the call of God that's on your life and sticking to the things that you know you're supposed to be doing, like and staying away from the things that you're not supposed to be doing. So don't touch the dead stuff, don't cut your hair, and don't give all your secrets away to that woman that you can't trust. And so lastly, just kind of talking about this revenge cycle. And so to help us with that, I thought I would I'm going to go ahead and put that on the full screen so you can see it all in all of its glory. So you've got shock, you've got the atrocity happens, and then shock and fear and grief, which gives way to anger, and then bitterness, revenge, and retaliation. And so I want to say that pretty much every time Samson got involved in this cycle, his retaliation was one of those basically, I don't get even, I get ahead kind of guys. So we're going to see this cycle play out pretty severely here in the book of Judges with the Philistines, with Samson, because he never says enough is enough. He continues to escalate the game every single time something goes down. And that just causes the violence and the atrocities to be worse and worse and worse, right? Because it's not just getting even, it's getting ahead. And man, that can really ramp up fast. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, if you're getting value out of these videos, if you could just make sure you hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel. YouTube is suggesting a video right about here for you to check out. So go ahead and check out the next video.